Welcome to 1111. My name is Elena Gunter. I am standing in as band leader, for Brad Thompson today, as he and our normal keyboardist, Justin, had a gig out way yonder in the hill country last night, and we didn't want them to drive back super late. So they are hopefully watching us as they drive back today. Hello, friends. Give a wave to the cameras for them if you have time. We are blessed to have with us today Chris Birdsnake Brown, one of our good friends back here on electric guitar. It's always a lovely day when he can come and join us. And we are going to get started with a good song from Peter Mayer. Here we go. There could be a blue kazoo, a pair of ruby shoes, a silky new and fetching red kimono, a Pakistani rug, an Elvis Presley mug, or the very best of Perry Como. There could be a handsome blonde, Harry Potter wand, or those little strips that help you quit snoring, an anti-aging cream, a healthy self-esteem, waiting there for you on Christmas morning. But then again, in light of life's uncertainties, may not find a single one of these, but guaranteed underneath that tree will be a brand new day begun. The ones who love you are turning a earth and a great big shining sun, a big old shining sun. Better job, a diamond ring from Bob, a cabin place on Lake Okoboji. You might pray to be released, or for Middle Eastern peace, or a sword of light like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you can bring your gifts to Santa on your knees. All he's gonna say is, we will see. Underneath that tree will be a brand new day begun. The ones who love you are turning earth and a great big shining sun, a big old shining sun. And if that's all you get for Christmas, in spite of all your wishes, you might hang your head and then go back to bed. Or you might discover it instead, that when you wake and see the day, and on the earth you read your name, and you cut the gold ribbons all around it, you still might be surprised or even realize that you got everything you wanted. 'Cause when you see underneath that tree will be a brand new day begun. The ones who love you are turning earth and a great big shining sun, a big old shining sun. Shining sun. That giant fireball, the biggest ornament of all, hung in the sky on Christmas morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
To those of you who are new to 1111, and us older folks, not older, but anyway, those of you at home, light your welcome candle, and as you know, we'll read along. Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, it does not matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come yet again.
Thank you, Jenny. Now is the time in our service where we invite you all to join the band, stand up, and sing a song with us. This is a good old-fashioned classic Christmas carol with a little bit of a rock and roll beat, I suppose. And your words are going to be up on the screen. Here we go. Here we go. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, wine is jubilee. Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see Christ, whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. See him in a manger laid, whom the choirs of angels praise. Mary, Joseph, lend your aid, while our hearts in love we raise. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Excellent. Thank you for joining us. And now is the time for you to turn and greet one another in faith. Say hi. Oh, it's also the time to bring your offering forward, or if you're more comfortable, you can leave it on the tables outside.
morning. We're very, yes, we're very lively this morning. I love it. Everyone's all bundled up and cute. And I love the clapping. It is very remnant of the experience we had yesterday at Big Church. You guys remember we sang the song, I Smile? Okay, and you remember it was done by Kirk Franklin? Okay, Kirk Franklin showed up at Big Church yesterday. And we had a whole concert. It was a live recorded album. We got to be there. Some of the staff, we like snuck in and hid out in the balcony, and it was incredible. It was like, how many people? Like 1,400 people in their Sunday best. There were hats, there was drama, there was clapping, so thank you. I feel like it's in the air now. We can't get rid of it. So thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Kagan Parker. I'm the director of this really strange thing we do here on Sundays. We call it church, but it really feels like more of a spiritual party, which I love. I really, really love. Did everybody get one of these? Okay. I've only got a couple things to run by you. Let's see. We are not having service on December 28th. Say it back to me.
No service, December 28th.
Spread the word, tell the people. We are doing all church service. Typically, 11:11 has a service here, and then all church happens over there. But I was like, that doesn't feel right. That feels weird. So we're going to go join them this year, crash the party, and have a wonderful time on December 28th. And then we've got so many opportunities on December 24th for a Christmas Eve service, like so many. I won't list them. That's going to take forever. But there are so many opportunities for you to go and worship on December 24th. For a Christmas Eve service in Big Church, it's wonderful. All the lights, the decorations, the choir, like it really is a wonderful opportunity. We have a continuous call for Christmas decorations. As you saw, we had more plushies on the tables out front. Things are showing up. I love it so much. And then we've got a call for blankets and shoes. It is getting very cold. So I've seen blankets coming in droves, but please keep bringing them, as many as you possibly can find. I went to Goodwill and just bought a bunch of them and then dropped them off. It's just really necessary, as well as men's shoes, sizes 9 through 12. And then care team is active. And I wanted to mention that, one, because I want to make sure no one is alone on Christmas this year. And if you want to be alone on Christmas, still let us come drop something off at your house. So if you have a need, know someone with a need, we are here to help fill that need. Big Church's congregational care team is here to help fill that need as well. So if you know of anything, let us know. And then we got new name tags. Did everybody see the name tags? Okay, let me explain the name tags, because they're very exciting. I'm wearing this one instead of my regular one. So it's got a place for your name. There's even extra space for pronouns here if you need them there as well. We've got a no thank you, I don't want a greeting thing that you can circle. We've got a high five thing that you can circle, handshake, and then a hug. My hug is circled, so please hug me. But I thought this would be a really fun way to continue to get to know each other in an authentic way. And sometimes you're going to show up and you don't want to be touched. We've got a spot for that. Some days you're going to show up and you're going to want a high five or a fist bump. We've got a spot for that too. So however you want to show up, let us know so we can meet you there. How's that sound? Sounds great, right? Okay. We are moving into a little time in our Advent tradition that is new to us that I'm very excited about, and I have 2 new volunteers this week who are going to help me with this. We're going to continue with our Advent wreath. Last week we lit the candle of hope, and today we're going to be lighting the candle of peace. Miss Helona and Miss Amy, if you'll come on up here and join me. We can applaud. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Everyone feeling kind of festive? Feeling like the holidays are upon us? So this is week 2 of Advent, and as Kagan mentioned, last week we lit the candle of hope. This week is the week of peace. Today, we light the candle of peace. Peace is not forged by power, but formed in the quiet hands that serve. True light glows from within, not on the surface of success, but deep in the heart that bends low, where the world demands control, compassion offers another way. Where chaos shouts, peace hums softly, true. Spirit of peace, shine within us and let your quiet strength remake the world. Thank you.
We can applaud again because this is scary. I love any time we have volunteers come up here, and Helona actually volunteered for this and then voluntold Amy. So if you are interested in participating in our Advent Wreath, let me know. We would love to continue to have just different people of different relationships and different shapes and sizes up here to show how we do this little Advent thing we're doing, which is fun. We learned a lot about how to do it last week, and we're going to learn a little bit more about how to do it this week again. But for now, we're actually going to set all of that to the side for just a moment and enter into our Kairos moment. This is a time of meditation and pause and an intentional, deep breath that we don't always get during the week. So we typically start with a song, and then our meditation today will be led by Miss Sarah.
They visited with Jesus, they sure enjoyed their stay. Then warned in a dream of King Herod's scheme, they went home by another way. Yes, they went home by another way, home by another way. Maybe me and you can be wise guys too and go home by another way. We can make it any other way. Safe home, as they used to say. Keep a weather eye to the chart on high and go home another way. Steer clear of royal welcomes, avoid a big to-do. A king who would slaughter the innocents will not cut a deal for you. He really, really wants those presents. He'll comb your camel's fur till his boys announce they found trace amounts of your frankincense, gold, and myrrh. Time to go home by another way, home by another way. You have to figure that God's saying, play the odds and go home by another way. We can make it any other way. Safe home, as they used to say. Keep a weather eye to the chart on high and go home another way. Home is where they want you now. You can more or less assume that you'll be welcome in the end. Mustn't let King Herod haunt you so, or fantasize his features when you're looking at a friend. Well, it pleases me to be here and to sing this song tonight. They tell me that life is a miracle, and I figure that they're right. But Herod's always out there. He's got our card on file. It's a lead pipe cinch if we give an inch. Old Herod likes to take a mile. It's best to go home by another way, home by another way. We got this far to a lucky star, but tomorrow is another day. We can make it any other way. Safe home, as they used to say. Keep a weather eye to the chart on high and go home another way.
Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? Thank you, band. That was amazing, as always. My name is Sarah, and I'm here to share just a short moment of meditation, of stillness, as we come into this Kairos time. I want to welcome everyone here, both in this room and also on the other side of that screen if you're live streaming. We are so glad that you are with us, whether you are here in person or whether you are here in spirit. So I'm going to just share a short meditation today that I hope will help us go into more of a open posture in a time of stillness as we ready ourselves to hear the message that Kagan has for us today. I was reading this morning in my Advent reading, and Jen Hatmaker had a devotional, and I thought she had some beautiful words about this second Sunday of peace. She said, "Peace isn't the absence of chaos, it's the breath we take inside it. For me, peace feels like the loosening of my shoulders, the softening of that inner critic who loves to sound alarms, a gentle reminder that somehow, even here, even now, we are held. We are held by a peace that is far greater than our own strength or the chaos of this world." I also was brought to the quote by Mr. Rogers, and he said, "When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.'" So I'm just going to ask you to take a brief minute and relax, settle yourself into the space, and we're going to do a short meditation together. Just close your eyes or soften your gaze if that's most comfortable for you. Maybe you want to put your hands in your lap. Just allow yourself to settle in and allow yourself to relax. Now take a deep cleansing breath in, filling your lungs as you can, as you are able. And exhale slowly, releasing any tension or stress you may be holding. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and allow yourself to settle fully into this present moment. Allow yourself to just become aware, to be gentle with yourself. And as you sit in this silence, I'd like you to imagine someone or picture someone in your mind's eye who has helped or served you. Can you see this person? As you sit with that memory, I'd like you to remember or imagine, if you can't remember a specific moment, a specific time or moment where and how that person helped you. Can you remember what this person did that was so important for you in that moment? As you visualize this moment, remember this person and how they helped you without asking for anything in return. Perhaps you remember saying to them, "Thank you." It's all right. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to have a smile come across your face as you sit with this person in your mind's eye. Maybe you even had a big hug between the two of you. Sit in the awareness of this moment and feel the presence of connection between you and this person. In this moment, did you experience connection through this gift given to you? Did you experience the kindness of empathy? Allow yourself to sit with that for one moment. Now imagine someone that you have had the joy of helping or serving. It can be recent or long ago. See this person in your mind's eye. Did it put a smile on their face? Was there a tear in their eye? Did you embrace each other with a hug? Did they share anything with you in this interaction, perhaps a word of gratitude? Remember this interaction as if it is happening right now. You helping someone. Notice how you feel when you remember this moment. Continue to allow the feelings that come to you to expand. Remember this person and how they helped you without asking for anything in return. And perhaps you remember what you said to them. Maybe it was thank you, a smile coming across your face, maybe even a hug between the two of you. Sit in the space of that moment. As you breathe in, imagine that healing energy reaching out to those in need. And as you breathe out, let any feelings of exhaustion, burnout, fatigue, or overextension, just try to relax and allow them to resolve. Just observe the ebb and flow of the thought in the moment without judgment, and just allow yourself to be present. Breathing in, honor your commitment to others, and breathing out, honor your commitment to yourself. Now gently allow yourself to bring your focus back to your breath. And as we close our time together of Kairos, I offer you this contemplative poem. Then, in a pause, a breath drawn deep and slow, I saw the needs that in the silence grow. Not grand designs, but gentle moments waiting to be born. And as I gave, a strange release took hold. My tightly bound self suddenly unrolled. The I dissolved into the we, the us. A quiet current moving without fuss. No sudden blaze, no thunderclap of bliss, but soft unfolding of shared existence, fragile, real, and true. A deeper peace in serving me and you. For in that giving I was truly found, rooted in kindness on this common ground. Divine love, we thank you for this time together. Help us to move from control to release, to turn away from what harms and divides, and always turning towards what heals and repairs again and again and again. And we pray this in the name of Christ and in all of the beautiful and holy names of God. Amen.
I do have to tell one funny story before I start this. My mother sang in the choir at the First Methodist in Mansfield, and on the way home on Christmas Eve, they had sung the song we heard earlier about angels singing on high. And I asked her why Gloria needed an Alka-Seltzer. So think about that. Okay, moving on. Our sacred Our sacred text for today is from Luke 22, chapters 24 through 27. Then they began to argue among themselves about who would be the greatest among them. Jesus told them, "In this world, the kings and great men lord it over their people, yet they are called friends of the people. But among you, it will be different. Those who are the greatest among you shall take the lowest rank, and the leader should be like a servant. Who is more important, the one who sits at the table or the one who serves? The one who sits at the table, of course, but not here. For I am among you as one who serves."
Y'all are some funny people. Almost dropped that. Special note, I am officially banning the phrase "I'm sorry" for things that you cannot control. Okay? All right. I don't want to hear it. We are humans. This is a human space. If you need to cough, sneeze, scream, you handle your business, okay? We are adults and we are capable of meditating through things because that's life, is it not? Okay. All right. I had to get it off my chest. Hello. Welcome again, beautiful humans. Welcome to those of you joining us online. This is really my favorite sacred space. It gives me like jitters every morning to wake up on Sundays and know I'm coming to laugh and giggle and smile with you all. So today we move into week 2 of our Advent series titled Unexpected, which I feel like is something that we know kind of intimately here in this space. So in this season of Advent, we are being invited to look a little closer at what appears to be ordinary and see the magic that's stirring there. The guiding image for this season is a geode, as you see them all on our altar here. Geodes, when whole, who's seen a geode before it's been cracked? It looks like a rock, right? Like a regular rock. So when they're whole, they look completely normal. But waiting inside lies this intricate crystal formation. These formations, they wait patiently and quietly for a curious seeker to come along who can see past its ordinary exterior and then reveal the wonder that lies within. It really is kind of crazy how all of that just kind of lays in a regular looking rock. This Advent season calls us to be that curious seeker, to be present with what appears to be ordinary in ways that allow us to see the magic that is stirring among us. Because this magic is hidden and tucked in darkness, we don't know what we're going to find, do we? When you crack open a geode, you don't know what color it's going to be. You don't know if it's blue or red. I've got a couple up here. This one's white. This one's red. This one's blue. You don't really know. And that's the exciting thing about it. But because we don't know, Advent season is the time in which we're called to still ourselves and prepare our hearts to fully receive what is found, to prepare to receive the unexpected. Amen? So last week, we began our adventure of seeking and waiting with a conversation with Dr. Jen. And in this conversation, I got the chance to ask some big questions, like what on earth is Advent? And I asked these questions because I hoped that they would help us understand this ancient tradition a little bit more fully. So that in this context that we have now, with the perspective and the theological ideas that we have come to know, that we could move within the Advent season understanding that while we may not appear traditional, that there is room for us within the tradition, right? There is ways that we can participate in something ancient and still be resonant. I really love that. So if you weren't with us last week, I invite you to check out that conversation. I had a hard time trying to summarize it. She said some absolutely gorgeous things, but there was one thing that really left an impact on my understanding of what we're being invited to do in this season. She shared that the word Advent comes from the Latin language and it means to come. So this whole time is about a beckoning to the divine, asking it to come near to us, to nestle with us, and patiently wait to observe all the ways, all the unexpected ways in which it arrives. Walter Brueggemann explains Advent like this. He says, Advent is not about a sentimental waiting. It's about a hope that is both strenuous and buoyant, about a God who comes in ways we do not plan or predict. And that is the wonder of this time. We can't predict it or know how it will present itself, but we know that because we have called out earnestly, that something is coming. Isn't that exciting? Something's on the way. Divine Spirit is coming. And when we talk about the divine coming to us and revealing itself to us, this sounds kind of lofty, right? Like, come to us. And we have no idea what we're really asking for. So I've been thinking about this. And when I've asked the divine to come to me and it's revealed itself to me, it's a private internal event. It's not usually a shared one. It might be a shared feeling or a sensation, but what is being revealed, it happens in here. We often speak of how there is divinity in each of us, how every single one of us has been endowed with the breath of life. This internal divinity, this divine spark, is what connects us to the pieces of the divine that move mysteriously and fluidly around us and beneath us. It's why we refer to God as ground of being, life itself. So each of us here are human beings. That allows us in our core and in our souls to see the divine that is there. And that's what we're waiting to see. That's what we're talking about when we ask for the divine to reveal itself. When we see that, whatever that is, because that's an individual experience, it allows us to observe more fully and participate in how God is moving in the world around us. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. Well, I saw heads nodding, but I wasn't convinced. Does that make sense? Okay. That the God within helps us see the God without. Okay. So, with this in mind, I'd like to introduce today's topic. Thank you again, Amy and Helona, for lighting our candle of peace. Peace is a divine entity, and it's something that we can also experience internally and externally. You have internal peace, and then you have external peace, the kind that you see in the world around you, the kind that you have in your own life. So, I have questions. When you hear the words internal peace, what does that feel like for you? Grounding, home, calm, and exhale. What else? Letting go. Silence. A warmth. What about over here? Rest and recovery. Peace. Just that soft, gentle exhale. I liked exhale a lot. Okay, so external peace, the peace that we see around us in our lives, in the world around us, what does that look like? Happiness. Friendship. Nature, friendship. Lack of conflict. Vibrant. Okay. Lydia, you said something. Connection. That's good. Okay, what else? Flourishing. Acceptance. Balance. New beginnings. Ooh, these are good. Okay. So internal peace looks very different than external peace, yes? Okay. But did you know, and if you didn't, I'm about to tell you, don't worry. Did you know that both internal and external peace come to life in new ways through our authentic servanthood? And I know that's not a term we've tossed around before. We have lots of terms we throw around in here, but this one's a new one. But I do know that you guys like words, so the word is authentic servanthood. What does that say to you? What's the word authentic mean? Genuine. Expressing your true self. What else? Unique from the heart. Okay, and what does servanthood mean? Helping others, putting others first, stewarding, giving back, doing unto others. So authentic servanthood then would be serving others, serving our neighbors, our enemies, all humans of the earth itself through stewardship in ways that are authentic to you, in ways that only you can. Does that make sense? Wow, thank you, Jay. You were the, the only one. Jesus, the divine example, the long-awaited prophesied king, he did not appear on a horse with a sword, dripping in jewels and gold. Instead, he arrived as a baby, crying, squishy, dependent, and that was wildly unexpected. And when he grew to be a big human, he still did not take any throne or adorn himself in riches. Instead, he lived a life of authentic servanthood. That's what we're looking at when we look at Jesus' story. He tossed tables, he broke rules, he upset everybody from the church to the government while authentically serving. He did things that only he could do to serve the people he was intimately connected to in the most unexpected, earth-shattering of ways. And today, I would like us here to think about how we could do the same. So when I think of what authentic servanthood is, in a way that might be a little bit closer to me, I think of Nelson Mandela. I think of Desmond Tutu, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Eleanor Roosevelt. That's just to name a couple. These are perfectly imperfect humans who looked within and found the tools necessary to bring peace into this world through acts of service by being a servant in the ways only they could. They understood intimately that serving humankind is how we live in reciprocity with the divine. It's also a great acknowledgement of the fact that we own nothing, which we've talked about in here before. So all that is done freely has already been paid for. Did y'all hear that? When we serve, we're not giving it for free. It's already been paid for. So we're not losing anything. In fact, when we serve, we gain even more. And in our culture, we often think of servants as less than. You've seen people treat waiters poorly, right? That kind of tends to be the energy. We don't really hang out with men who collect trash. We don't really hang out with the people who do the dirty jobs. They're serving our community, doing necessary things, and yet they're kind of othered, right? We live in this world that has shaped our understanding that being a servant is a negative one. Our culture has us also resistant to lay our lives down for each other by shaping each other as enemy and by giving us words that help us other each other. We're scared. We live in a scarcity mindset. We've been conditioned to think of self first and others after. We look for ways to keep from being at the bottom of the imaginary food chain. We strive to be great, above others. Even those who are oppressed by our systems, they look below them to make sure that they're not at the bottom. And none of this is our fault. We did not shape this world that we have been born into, but we can certainly shape it while we're here. Amen? Henry Nouwen says, in a world so torn apart by rivalry, anger, and hatred, we have the privileged vocation to be living signs of a love that can bridge all divisions and heal all wounds. We have been given gifts. We have all been given skills to do something unexpected in this life, to serve like Jesus served, to bring peace through our actions of servanthood. And this isn't something that I think about very often. So going through this kind of was challenging a bit. I often think of how I could be more successful. I've got to get good grades. I got to show my teachers I'm smart. I got to make sure my boss doesn't fire me. What can I do to stay on top? How can I be better at what I do? Not how can I be of service. But it made me feel really good to know that even the disciples had a hard time remembering that being of service results in things far greater than ourselves. In Luke 22, Jesus and his disciples have just finished sharing the Last Supper. Did y'all know that was the context for this verse? They had just finished eating. They're still at the table. And in this moment, they begin to bicker like children about who among them is going to be the greatest. I would have been pissed. Vexed, purely, like really right now, like the plates are still on the table. But Jesus, instead of chastising them, offers a redirection. He reminds them that the kind of greatness that they're discussing belongs to the kings who do not operate within interconnectedness. They separate themselves, put themselves above the people, and then falsely call themselves friends. I think we are all a little familiar with what that looks like. The disciples, follower of the authentic servant, the man who opposed oppressive powers, stood against corrupt systems, washed feet, communed with the sick and the unwanted. They're being called to be great in a different way. And they had a really direct example of how to do that, and they still didn't get it right. So in that we find grace. Amen. Jesus takes it a step further and then says, here at this table, let me remind you that you are being called to be different. You won't be like the kings that we fight against. You will be the literal opposite. If those kings sit at the highest rank, then you will hold the lowest. If you wish to be a leader, then you must be a servant. He says, do the counterintuitive thing. Flip this system of power on its head. He asks what's more important, the person sitting at the table or the one serving the table? And if we're following the ways of the world, then yes, the one at the table is more important, but we see what kind of pain comes from operating within that system, don't we? So we won't be doing that. He says, I am here among you as a servant, and I am inviting you to be the same. And that's radical and scary. He's asking them to step outside of the realm of what they know to be possible and into a world where the impossible is achieved. This is the divine story, the example of what it means to be radically human, of how to participate in a bigger story, delineate from the norm. He shows us that we're all capable of choosing to walk truthfully and authentically in this world, how to face one another and the hard truths of this world. Jesus was asking the disciples to be like Mary Johnson, and we've talked about her in here before. She's the individual who forgave and loved her son's murderer. She loved the unlovable. To be like Daryl Davis, who shows kindness to KKK members, changing one heart at a time. Like Father Greg Boyle, who founded Homeboy Industries and ends gang violence by reminding people that they're special and worthy of love. He takes these young men by the hands and says, if you were my son, I would be so proud of you. Those things are unexpected and radical. And they bring about peace in unimaginable ways. And if you're thinking, I am not capable of doing anything like that, who's thinking that? You're right. You're not. Nor am I. You're not being called to do anything like that. You're being called to do what is authentic to you. You are being called to serve in a way that only you can. You're being asked to find the unique gifts and talents that you have and to do the unexpected. Martin Luther King says that everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Your greatness, your service, it might look like feeding others. Maybe singing to others and lifting their hearts, listening to others and validating their stories, loving others who have hurt you, refusing to ignore their humanness. It can look like clothing people, educating people, fighting oppressive systems, telling people that they're loved. The list is long, right? And endless. And you get to play with it in any way that you want because you're unique However you choose to address these issues that you see, the poem you shared, Sarah, was incredible when you pay attention to the problems and then you pay attention to what you have. You find a solution that is beyond your wildest imagination. We already have what we need to be great, to make an impact on this world around us. I'm going to invite the band back up. But the big question that's lingering is how, right? How do we make that impact? How do we do these things? How am I meant to be of service? How can I bring about peace? How can I be authentically engaged with the movement of spirit? So that is the question I'm asking you to hold this Advent season. And then just wait. You don't have to answer it immediately. Just wait. Wait to hear the answer that radiates from your heart. Wait to feel that tightening in your chest, that nervous feeling that you get right before you do something scary. That's your yes. That's your yes. That is the sign that you are about to do something wonderful and unexpected. I'd like to leave you with these words from Thich Nhat Hanh. When we serve, we touch the suffering of the world, and we touch peace. Peace is not the absence of suffering. Peace is the capacity to hold suffering with compassion. Amen.
Invite you to stand and sing along with us on this song. Love came down at Christmas. Love, a lovely love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Stars and angels gave the sign. Love came down at Christmas. Love, a lovely love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Stars and angels gave the sign. Love shall be our token. Love be yours and love be mine. Love from God to all of us. Love for plea and gift and sign. Love shall be our token. Love be yours and love be mine. Love from God to all of us. Love for plea and gift and sign. Love came down at Christmas. Love, a lovely love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Stars and angels gave the sign. Stars and angels gave the sign.
Okay, I got homework again. Y'all ready? No. Did you say yay? Thank you so much. I need you to know that you are capable of the impossible. I need you to know that you are capable of doing the unexpected. So this week, sit and notice all the little things around you that seem to be going wrong, that need a hug, that need a smile, that need acknowledgement. And then think about how you want to address them in the way that only you can. Can you do that? Are you sure? Okay, there it goes. Wonderful. I love you all. Happy Advent. Have a wonderful week. Bye.